So foldable phones aren't something that many of us are seriously going to consider buying for a really long time. But if you're into tech, you can't help but be fascinated by them. Both the Huawei Mate X and the Galaxy Fold from Samsung have been delayed. So first it was Samsung's turn and their Galaxy Fold just got completely destroyed. It wasn't really a finished product, it was still a prototype, but Samsung decided to start selling it anyway, and well, we know all the problems that one had. So the Mate X, which was destined to be released much earlier this year, was delayed by Huawei. A good move by them. They wanted to go back to the drawing board and make this thing a little bit more robust to prevent the same problems happening with the Mate X as what happened with the Galaxy Fold. Both have had redesigns, but it looks like Huawei are going to go a step further and actually change both the external and internal components of the Mate X. So when the Mate X was first shown, it was very different to the Galaxy Fold. It folded outwards for a start, whereas the Galaxy Fold actually folds inwards. Two ways of coming at the same problem, and both folding outwards or inwards has some advantages and disadvantages compared to the other method. But anyway, Huawei have upgraded the materials and just the strength all around of the Huawei Mate X. But they've also improved the internals too. At least that's the news we're getting. So initially the Mate X had the Kirin 980 processor. That was the latest processor at the time that it actually went into production initially. That was first released on the Mate 20 series, and the Mate X also used the camera system from the Mate 20 series too. Again, at the time they were the flagship specs from Huawei, the Mate 20 series being the flagship phone. Taking the internals from that seemed appropriate. But after the delay, time has moved on, and if you're releasing a product that is almost $3,000 to buy, you can't have what will be old specs. The P30 has already been released with an improved camera system, and by the time the Mate X actually comes out, the Mate 30 series would have been released too. So we're a whole nother year on. The Mate 30 series will feature a brand new chipset from Huawei, either called the 985 or the 990, and that will have a further improved camera system. And not to mention EMUI 10 and just a new design all round. And that would leave the Mate X with a huge problem. You have a ridiculously expensive experimental phone, the latest and greatest technology, almost $3,000 to buy, but it would have old tech. So it seems, according to the latest news, that Huawei are going to remedy this. They will be putting the brand new chipset in the Mate X. So no more Kirin 980, but the new chipset, either the 985 or the 990. And apparently they will be taking the camera system from the P30 Pro. That will also be capable of 4K 60 frames a second video recording. Well, that can only be a good thing, because if I was paying almost $3,000 to buy a phone, I would expect the latest tech in that thing. So apparently the durability of the display and the hinge and the materials all round have been upgraded, and also the camera system and the processor too. Huawei will be looking to release the phone possibly in October or November. It's going to be after the Mate 30 series, that's for sure. So Huawei have done the right thing for me. They've just put the latest specs in this, which is just a given considering how expensive this is. But still, this product is something that just virtually none of us are going to buy because, well, basically it's $3,000. Anyway, that's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.